Hi plant lovers, this is Tom over at Longview Nursery. Hey, I hope you're having a great winter here. We're after New Year's again. This is January 21st, day before my birthday, and we're going to have a little trimming show here today. And what we're going to try to do is take a look at a red prince here, and don't look at my jungle because we take cuttings off of this. This isn't meant to be something that looks beautiful and trimmed and well trimmed and everything. This is here for a business purpose. So what I'm going to do though today is trim this one out to show you what to do if you have any kind of a Weigela that has grown up real large like these have. These are probably about 6 foot high here, and basically what you can do to trim them down to a workable size, and you can keep them there if you want to. Now I'm doing this here during the winter. Usually we tell you a Weigela or most spring blooming plants, you trim them after the blooms are finished, and it's the best time to prune them to get them to size and shape that you want. But I'm going to do this one here in the winter simply because it doesn't matter to me about the blooms. I want to get some new good stems coming up here, and I want to keep this thing short about this high, about 30 inches or so high, and that way it makes a nice tight compact shrub. And the way I'm going to trim it will have more branches shooting out of this and give you a good thick bush with lots of beautiful red flowers here with the red Prince Weigela. So let me get a start here, and let me show you what we're doing. First of all, I'm going to cut that one off there. And what I'm doing here, I want to show you on the stems here, we have what we call nodes. And those are these, for you who may not know that, those are nodes. And when you cut off a stem or a piece, you look for a node, and what you do, if you want to take off this much, you would go above this node here, trim it off, that's your waste, and this of course is connected to the plant. So as I'm trimming here, I'm trying to trim above a node and leave a few nodes below so it can shoot out new branches, because that's right exactly where branches and things are going to flow out of in trimming this. So I'm going to get a start here. I don't want to bore you. I'll try to move as fast as I can, and what we're going to do is cut this off, and I'm going to try to get it at about this height. So what happens here is in the spring, when this starts shooting out, all this new growth will be down lower. It will not be near as tangly and messy as this is right here now. And you see I'm coming right above those nodes there, just like this, getting this down. You can see these are rather new branches right here that came out in the fall. So we're gonna probably, after I trim some cuttings off of this side of the bush. So let me go across the top here now. And that one's a dead one. Notice the life that's in these things. See how green that is there on those stems? That shows that this plant's alive. It looks dead on the outside, but on the inside there's lots of life there, and it's being protected and wintered over. And in the spring, that's where you're going to see your flowers and leaves and things coming out. So let me just do this. I may have to get Big Bertha here pretty soon. My big cutters to cut those out. And I just go around, and this is what you can do. And don't be afraid to cut when you're cutting, because you can't kill it doing this. The only thing you can do when you're doing this is help it. And what I'm doing is getting these, like some of these that lay across here, open up the middle a little bit so we can get some daylight down in there, get some better growth out of this thing. And I go across here. Now these red princes are really a beautiful shrub. If you remember, they get these trumpet-like red flowers on them, nice dark green leaves, and this is one of a few Weigelas that actually you can let it grow up like this, and when it gets the flowers, this thing just goes like a fountain and goes out with those beautiful red flowers on. Hummingbirds love them, things like that. And as you can see, this isn't a real long taking job if you just get at it. One of the hardest things I have to do during the winters when it's nice and snugly in the house is deciding to come out here in the cool and work. But once I get out, I love it because it really invigorates the shrub, and it invigorates me too. So I'm getting ready for spring, staying in shape for the spring rush. This one I'm going to take a little more off up. That one should come out of there like that. You notice how that was wiggling up in there? That will just be a mess. And I'm going to make this one that when you come out here to our plant sales, which will start probably sometime between around the 15th of April. We'll see how the weather is. If we can start earlier, we will. But usually by that time we're started. There we go. And we have a lot of these red white azaleas. We always do, simply because it's one of the most popular plants we sell. And it's really easy to maintain, because if you go in and if I go in this year right after this is done blooming and I trim it, I'll only have little stuff like this really to trim out, and a little bit like that. As you can see, I have these planted too close together, but when we take cuttings off of them, we trim them down pretty hard. So I'm just going down through here, get these things out a little bit. That one I take off down lower, see how crooked it is there? That'll just grow out a new set of limbs there. All right, we're just about there. Take that one off. And when you go to trim this after it's blooming in the summer, keep in mind with this, with the red prince and a couple other white Julias as well, these things will bloom another time late in the summer. So if you do a good job of trimming, this thing will thicken up. It'll be so thick here with branches coming up like this. And if you keep it cut off about this high, that'd be about 30 inches, 30, 36 inches. You really have a nice, tight, compact shrub. Like, it just flows with flowers. It has leaves on it. You can barely see the leaves because of all the flowers on it. So this is the way you trim them. And we're looking forward to seeing you when we get down there to April. And I'm sure we'll see you before in another video. As we go around trimming here and doing things, we'll show you different things here that we do at Longview Nursery. So if you have questions, feel free to email me, feel free to Facebook us. This will be on Facebook. You'll also be getting an email on it. This is Tom at Longview Nursery. Get your clippers out and head out and do some trimming and get invigorated and get ready for spring. God bless.